I wanted to get on real quick today and talk about Pokemon Champions a little bit more. I have some concerns about the game, namely with the VP or Victory Points system. A lot of people, including myself, were thinking this game is sort of Pokemon's answer to Pokemon Showdown, a popular online Pokemon battle simulator that makes it really easy just to load up Pokemon and get in battles to start testing them out, building your teams, etc. However, I don't think Champions is going to really replace Pokemon Showdown at all, and that pretty much has to do with this game using a system called Victory Points, or VP. It's a currency that you can earn in-game, not purchasable through microtransactions, only earnable in-game, which is great, but this currency is basically used to do everything in the game, from actually obtaining Pokemon to changing their abilities, changing their stats, changing their nature, everything. You can see it costs 200 VP to change their nature. It costs 400 right here to actually change their ability. 100 per move. 60. It costs 2 points per stat point you invest in order to actually change their stats. It costs 1,000 VP to recruit a Pokemon, and all of this combined is making me think that this game might have more of a grind to actually get a team up and running than we might have thought. Because I stumbled across this trial recruitment section right here, where you can recruit a Pokemon as a trial period for 7 days at the cost of 0 VP. And you're like, okay, well, that's pretty good. You can try out a Pokemon, put them on your team, you maybe build a team of Pokemon, figure that out. Or you can permanently gain that Pokemon for 1,000 VP. So this brought up the question to me of, well, why wouldn't I just trial recruit 6 Pokemon, the 6 Pokemon I need, so I can just use that team immediately? Why would I ever permanently recruit a Pokemon when I can just trial recruit, right? And the answer lies right here, where they say you can use trial recruitment once a day without using Victory Points, also known as VP. Now, what this tells me is, as far as if I'm interpreting this properly, this means that you can only trial recruit 1 Pokemon for free per day. So you cannot trial recruit 6 Pokemon and just get that team going immediately. You're only going to be able, if I wanted Gardevoir, Feraligatr, Lucario, Superior, Talonflame, and Pikachu right here, I could recruit Gardevoir for free, but the rest of them I need to pay for. And you might be able to trial recruitment these other guys at a reduced cost because it's a trial recruitment, but you won't be able to get them for free. What this is telling me right here is that it's going to cost some sort of victory points to trial recruit more than 1 Pokemon in 1 day. And that is of a big concern to me because I did some math, and after recruiting a Pokemon for 1,000 VP and giving them all their stat points they need and changing their nature and changing their ability and giving them the moves they need, the amount of victory points spent calculates to about over 2,000. And this can be a problem depending on how many victory points we actually earn or lose in the actual game. Now, if you earn something ridiculous like 1,000 victory points per match, I don't think this is going to be that big of a problem. But if you're only getting 500 or less victory points per win, this is going to translate to a pretty big grind, I think. And let's just assume that you can't actually lose victory points. That whenever you lose nothing, and whenever you win, you actually gain victory points, right? And let's highball it, and let's say you get 500 per win. An average VGC match lasts about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So you're looking at about 40 minutes to an hour minimum in order to actually gain all of the VP points that you need to fully juice up a single Pokemon. Multiply that number by 6 for all the Pokemon in your party, and you're going to need about 12,000 to 13,000 points to fully juice up a party for competitive play. And if each Pokemon takes you about 40 minutes to an hour, let's just round up to an hour, then we're looking at about a 6-hour grind to get a full team. Now, again, this is all speculative because we don't actually know how many victory points you get for winning, and we don't know if you actually lose any. If you can lose victory points, it might be an even worse grind depending on how bad you are or how unlucky you are. But assuming you can't lose any and you can only gain victory points, and you gain an amount like 500, then we're looking at a pretty big grind. I mean, even if you get 1,000 victory points per win, you're still looking at about a 3-hour grind in order to get a full team up and running, which in the grand scheme of Pokemon, that's a pretty good grind. I mean, if you've never seen I'm a Blissy's YouTube channel, they are a YouTuber who makes a lot of videos primarily documenting how long it takes to get a competitive Pokemon team up and running without cheating. And their latest upload that focused on Scarlet and Violet clocked in at about around 8 to 9 hours. So 3 to 6 hours is a pretty short grind in comparison. However, that's still a grind. And granted, you're going to be playing the game in order to earn these points, but if you just want to hop on this game and try out a cool team you saw like your favorite YouTuber or your favorite VGC player using in a tournament, you're going to be out of luck for a few hours unless you already have those Pokemon on hand. You're going to have to go grind with another team that you don't really want to play with right now for a few hours in order to actually get the points to earn the team that you want to play with. And I think that's kind of a big downer, and why I think this is not going to be a suitable replacement for something like Pokemon Showdown. Whereas in Pokemon Showdown, you can just hop on and load up a team within 5 minutes at no cost, and you're just ready to practice for the next big tournament. I'm also assuming here that each Pokemon is only recruitable like once. And by that, I mean like you can't recruit 2-3 different Gardevoirs. If you recruit Gardevoir, that's just your recruited Gardevoir. And if you want to, say, swap out one of Gardevoir's moves or change its ability for a different team you have Gardevoir on, you're going to have to pay VP in order to change that Gardevoir whenever you want to use it on the other team. So if you want to swap between teams that have similar Pokemon on it, we're potentially looking at a situation where every time you want to use a different team that has the same Pokemon on it, you're having to pay out the ass in VP to change their abilities, change their nature, change their moves, change their stats, and I think that might be a problem. I mean, granted, we don't know if you can have duplicate Pokemon in your box that can actually go on multiple teams, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like it. All this to say, I think this game is a good decision by Game Freak in order to make, and I think it's going to do a lot of wonders for the competitive Pokemon community. I think it's going to be great, and these issues aren't going to be giant, but I do think it's kind of missing the point a little bit if the VP system goes over bad. I mean, this video is basically just me voicing my concerns with the VP system. Now, this game could come out and the VP system could be insanely generous. It gives you like 5,000 per win, and you basically have all the VP you ever need in order to make any team you ever want. It's absolutely a non-factor. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the case, but I don't think it will be, because it seems like the only resource that you're actually earning and how you're going to be feeding, like, it seems like it's going to be playing a big part in the gameplay loop. So I don't think they're just going to give you unlimited VP, basically. I also am just a little concerned about how this game is making the Pokemon Company view Pokemon Showdown. Because, I mean, I think the biggest reason why Pokemon hasn't shut down Pokemon Showdown as of the making of this video is because Pokemon Showdown is quite literally providing a service that they simply aren't. Like, if they shut down Pokemon Showdown, it would be a ginormous blow to the competitive Pokemon community. Like, there are, I would say probably the majority of the competitive Pokemon community doesn't even play on cartridge. Like, I think most people play on Showdown, and let's be honest, a lot of the people who are playing on cartridge still, especially the top players, they are either hacking the Pokemon in, or they have enough influence to where they have other people just do the legwork for them in order to be able to play Pokemon within a reasonable time frame. I am just afraid that since this game is offering an alternative to Pokemon Showdown, that this might change the Pokemon Company's view on Pokemon Showdown, and they might get a little ballsy and want to look into shutting down Showdown. And that's where I think we could be having a big problem. Because unless they are extremely generous with the VP system, this is never going to be a replacement for Pokemon Showdown. As long as there is a grind attached to obtaining the Pokemon that you need to obtain in order to play the game competitively, the Showdown is always going to be the superior option when it comes to actually just getting in there and playing the game. Ultimately, I think the best case scenario is this game comes out, we have this cool alternative to play on cartridge, essentially, competitive Pokemon battles that isn't as crazy grindy as the main series games, and we still have Pokemon Showdown as an option. That would be the ideal world. However, I do think there is a possibility that we might be in the nightmare timeline where this game comes out, it's still a grind to get the Pokemon what you want to get in order to play the game competitively, and they shut down Pokemon Showdown now that they've provided an alternative. And if we live in that timeline, I am deeply afraid. But we'll see. Hopefully, we live in the good timeline in all the mainline games. Pokemon Champions and Showdown can all exist in perfect harmony. But I just have some concerns. Again, everything just depends on this VP system. This VP system and how many VP points you earn and can get, and how easy it is to actually get your Pokemon teams up and running in this game without having to grind for a bunch of hours. That's really the make or break for this game for me. And I'm hoping that it'll be great. I mean, I can't wait to try this game out. But yeah, let me know what you think. I could be being a little paranoid, but we'll see. We'll see when this game comes out. I have high hopes for it, but I just do think there's like a 10% chance possibility that there just could be something that's, you know, the arrow through the Achilles heel for this game. And I'm hoping that I'm hoping that's not the case. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.